And Sean, it's exciting times moving forward with the podcast. We've talked about some of the amazing guests and the different things, and then the connection now with the foundation and the decision you've made to really connect the foundation completely now to the podcast. So they're going to be together once the foundation's funded, right? Founded, right?
Yeah, so thanks again for having me, Neil. It's a decision I went back and forth on before I made the podcast and LLC. Was, do I do 501c LLC? And ultimately, I went with an LLC. But in our desire now to start a 501c to capture every veteran spouse story, we realized that we might as well make the podcast and that all one entity, make it all a 501c, so that not only can we operate as one entity, but also prolong the organization well after I step down from podcasting, and we the board can look to find new people, and we continue to grow and just be out there helping veterans for years to come. So pretty excited about the idea, and we got some great people that are interested in being a part of it. I think you're going to see us roll out a great team that's going to really aim to make a difference in this space and really help our veteran population succeed.
And the transition story, we've talked about this countless times, is so important to look at, is the transition story. Go into more, I mean, the stories, every veteran that comes on is going to tell their transition story. And your goal is to do over 1 million transition stories. So perfect places to get the right movers and shakers on the podcast who then move forward with their transition story and really see this is something that's not unlike anything else. Telling transition stories. We're going to have a database of all the videos.
Absolutely. And veterans have so many just powerful stories and different things, whether it was something they did in the military, their transition story, or some story of survival that they overcame some sort of obstacle. So we're excited to capture these transition stories because it is a confusing time. It's an emotional time, and we want to be able to provide a library where people can find out that they're not alone. Others have gone through it and succeeded, and there are ways to get past the obstacles you're facing. And I think it's going to be huge for our community.
Absolutely. And what do you think when you get to talk to these other veterans that come on the show and they get to tell their story? What do you see from those when they tell the story, and then you have a conversation afterwards?
You can hear the emotion in their voice, even if they're years past their transition. It still is an emotional tie for them. It's something that, some had really good transitions. I was fortunate. My transition out of the military was very good. But others have had really, really bad ones, to the point where suicidal ideations come into play, homelessness comes into play, alcoholism and drug abuse, things like that. And a lot of the people we talk to have gone through things like that, and they've come out on the other side okay. And so you hear the emotion in their voice, but then you also hear the positive emotion, because they went through it, they survived, they come out stronger, and now they're giving back in special ways to our community. And that's just what makes part of this community that much more special.
Being special is so important. And the organizations and partnering with all those organizations, allowing the resources to happen and all that stuff. So your ultimate goal in 2025 is to go ahead and raise funds. What is your goal in fundraising for people? So people that are out there, they want to donate at the GoFundMe right now, but know where the foundation's going. How much to get the operations up and running?
Our initial goal is 25,000. Ultimately, we are going to need to raise more than that, because the video library, the video programs we're going to be using, the storage capability, and of course, putting together a staff as we grow will cause us to need more. But the one thing that we want to do as an organization is be good stewards of any donations we receive, whether that's time, money, talent. We want to make sure that we're good stewards of that. And we also want to be an organization that gives back. So as we move forward, if at the end of the year we have a surplus, there are countless organizations that we've interviewed that we support, that we want to be able to turn around and make a donation to them so they can continue to grow and be profitable.
All right, fantastic. The best place people can find information is go where?
To our website, vetsospodcast.com. You can get to everything right through there. We have a video up there about the nonprofit and what we're trying to do, so you can learn more about that. You can get to all podcasts that we've done so far. And you can do that on YouTube or on the different podcast platforms.
All right. Thanks, Sean.